And another part of me also finds it not surprising at all. It fits into this longer tradition of the collecting and exploitation of the dead.
When the news broke, the headlines were shocking. Multiple people indicted for stealing human remains from the Harvard Medical School morgue and sending them to buyers across the country. The morgue manager and his wife now accused of federal crimes like conspiracy and interstate transport of stolen goods. This case put a spotlight on the online human remains trade, something you might not even know existed before this story broke. NBC 10's Ryan Kath breaks down the legal and ethical debate around the morbid trade.
The story is much larger than the vast majority of people can really wrap their minds around.
Sam Redman is a history professor at UMass Amherst and the author of Bone Rooms, detailing the history of collecting and showcasing human remains.
People very rarely know that there are more than 500,000 sets of human remains in museums in the United States.
In Harvard's case, cadavers were donated to the anatomical gift program to be used for research and later returned to the families. But officials say up to 400 body parts were stolen and sold from the Harvard morgue.
What do you have to say about these charges?
7 people are now facing federal charges, including the former morgue manager Cedric Lodge and his wife. Prosecutors say they stole and sold brains, bones, and other body parts. One buyer is even accused of turning human skin into leather, as seen here in these social media posts.
What really bothers us is people trusted Harvard with the donation of their human remains, and that trust was violated.
Tanya Marsh is a professor at Wake Forest University School of Law and wrote a book about the legal issues surrounding human remains.
There is not a federal law that specifically says it's illegal to sell human remains.
So many of these laws are determined on a state-by-state basis.
There are 8 states, including Massachusetts and New Hampshire, where it's broadly illegal to sell human remains, but penalties are low. And the Harvard case crosses multiple borders with a patchwork of state laws.
In 42 states, it's completely legal to sell human remains in bricks and mortar stores that have websites. It's not a black market. It's sort of a gray market, and it's really only a gray market in those 8 states where it's expressly illegal.
The trade in human remains matters because there are these historical wrongs that have happened. Ancestors have been taken from their communities. Those ancestors need to be returned.
Sean Graham and Damian Huffer have studied the online human remains trade for over 5 years, often by data scraping comments and posts on social media to find out why people buy and sell remains.
Across the board, the motivation is just control the dead. Being able to own someone else.
Etsy and eBay used to be the dominant online platforms for the sale of human remains, but since those platforms banned the trade, most have moved over to Instagram and Facebook. Meta, the company that owns those social media giants, issued a policy stating that listings may not promote the buying or selling of human body parts or fluids. Meta also has direct rules against organ sales, but Huffer and Graham say the illicit remains trade continues on.
Social media platforms are notoriously bad for moderation of all sorts of different things.
This also is not the first case of a university morgue connected with a criminal case. In 2004, the director of UCLA's Willed Body program was convicted in a conspiracy case to buy and sell remains.
The cautionary tale of this happened at Harvard has terrified medical schools across the country. Whether you get new laws on the subject or not, I think this has been a really disturbing wake-up call, but it's probably been a necessary wake-up call.
This situation just screams out for added investigation by lawmakers and policymakers to think more deeply about the way in which we treat the dead.
2 class action lawsuits have been filed by families affected by the morgue scandal. And last week, a Pennsylvania man tied to the case pled guilty to trafficking stolen remains. Meantime, Harvard asked experts to review its body donation program. That report is expected to be released next month. Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Boston.
We previously reached